What's up, world? This your boy, Coach EV, aka EV the Geeker. And hey, I'm just coming to you live right now by myself. I got a couple people that hit me with the DM. They may jump on here shortly, but I'm here. And man, all I want to do is we had a major night of basketball today, and we're gonna be on tomorrow night with our regular show with the guys. All the guys, they out partying. Man, I'm at the crib. My family's out of town for the night. So, man, I'm by myself and I just wanted to come on for a moment. Hit me up on the live chat, man. I'm here. Let's talk. Everybody's kind of talking. I got some DMs, kind of talking about, man, see, we got it done and this, that, and the other. And you counted us out. No, I didn't count you out. Man, I just did like anybody else did. I made some predictions and some of y'all proved me wrong. That's great. One in particular. And it didn't necessarily prove me wrong as much as, man, y'all came on and y'all playing well. You hit it at the right time. Let's talk about, we'll go right into the boys. Holmes County Central. Holmes County Central is one of those teams, to be honest with you, that has the talent. And I said from the beginning that they would be a team to be reckoned with. And I saw them early in the year. And they had some losses that they shouldn't. They got used to the new coach, and now they're hitting on all cylinders at the right time. They're in the Final Four. So shout out to Holmes County Central for making it to the Final Four. One thing about us at Talking Hoops in the SIP, and myself, man, I'm for all kids. Not only have I coached the game for close to 30 years, I've been a fan for a long time. So I'm a fan of great play. And sometimes, obviously, I live in the Clinton area, so I see more of the Clintons, the Jacksons, public schools teams. So, obviously, I see them more. So, obviously, you kind of root for them. But man, I'm a fan of all teams, and I'm happy for all the kids because this is an opportunity that you get that you'll never be able to get back. Some people's high school careers are over. They'll never play another game. I'm 51 years of age. I can't remember my last high school game. I really can't. I played at Saginaw Valley Lutheran. It was in Michigan. Can't remember. So, man, I'm telling you, as you get older, sometimes, you cherish these memories. I can remember my last college game. We finished 21-7, and they threw the ball to me with like 1 second left. I was going out of bounds, and I just remember that was the last time I touched a college game. So a court, collegiately, and that was the last time I actually played in a real meaningful game, per se. Other than that, it was leagues and different things like that. So some people's careers came to an end. Some people will never play college basketball. This is it. Some people's careers are getting ready to go to the next level. And so shout out to all the players who moved on, and then shout out to the ones that their careers are over. So, hey, I don't want to just be by myself. Coming to me on live chat, I know some people, it said they were going to pop on. They were on their way home or this, that, and the other. Any question you want to ask me right now, I'm open to it. I'm here by myself. Like I said, the other guys tonight, they didn't want to do a late night with Evie the Geeker because, they probably doing what they like to do, right now at about 11 o'clock at night. Let's talk a little bit about who won, and we'll go over that on tomorrow as well. I'm excited to see everybody play next week, for the most part. Obviously, I hadn't kept up with the lower classes, so I'll be, with the 1As and 2As and 3As. But I like to be good to see them next week, see some players I hadn't seen. Looking forward to seeing both Pontotoc teams on the girls and boys side. It's rare that you get two school teams, make it to the Final Four. That's a great accomplishment. Shout out to Kyle Hurd who was on our show before, and Coach Tipler over at Pontotoc. And so we kind of did have get those predictions right that they would probably be down here at the big house. Uh, the biggest upset of the night, obviously, let's get this elephant out of the room, was Lake Cormorant over Callaway. And although I expected Callaway to meet, win the state championship again this year, I did. But from the very beginning, someone asked me, who do you think can stand and can give Callaway a challenge? And the first team I said, after seeing Donovan Sanders and KB Brooks and Damon Knight play at Talante Weber's tidal wave camp, I said that Lake Cormorant team is they're gonna have they're gonna give them all they can handle. And so shout out, you guys got it down in double overtime. See, here's the thing, anybody on any given night can get beat. So you got to give your A game. You gotta do all the little things, especially when you go on the road. It had to be a phenomenal game. I wish I was there, to be honest with you, just to see it. Callaway going on the road and going, I'm sure, in a hostile environment. Lake Cormorant came last year to Callaway in a hostile environment, and they, got beat pretty good. And this time, Callaway goes on the road and drops one. So shout out to Callaway as well. They've had Dave Sanders done a phenomenal job. He's won 3 state championships. He's a winner. Great coach. Shout out to Deshaun Ruffin, 39 points tonight. And regardless of what anybody says, from my opinion, he's the best player in the Mississippi, and it's not close. Like, there's a separation, even though he lost, and he's just that good. He's one of the best players in my 30 or so years of watching, one of the most entertaining one-on-one kids I've ever seen play. And I've seen a lot of kids. If, and there's an if by this, if he takes care of business, if Deshaun goes into Ole Miss next year, takes care of business, he's talented enough to average 20 points a game in the SEC. Talent. Now, whether a lot of factors have to happen, if the coach is going to allow him to be free and let him go to work, that's the one thing. If he's going to do that. The other thing is, if Deshaun works hard, takes care of business, because the guards that are already there are not going to just let him and say, "Oh, Deshaun's here, we're just going to let you come in." He's got to work hard. He's got to put the time in. But talent-wise, what you see him do in high school, he can do at the next level, because I've seen him do it against the best in the country. So there's a reason that he is number one in the state. And I know people say, "Evie, you riding the kid, this, that, other." Well, that's life. That's what the media does. That's what you do as a fan. No different than you ride LeBron James or anybody else. We have so shout out to Deshaun Ruffin, phenomenal career, McDonald's All-American, only the 18th or 19th one in the state of Mississippi. He'll go down as one of the greatest players to play in the state. And so the Bible says, give honor where honor is due, and he deserves that type of honor. Again, speaking of that Lake Cormorant game, shout out to, again, to Lake Cormorant getting the dub. They're in the Final Four. They're playing against Hattiesburg, which is a winnable game for them. To be honest with you, I predict them to be in, since we want to go prediction, I'm going to go ahead and predict those games. I don't have a problem. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. But I do see Lake Cormorant in the championship, and I see them playing against they're going to be playing against Forest Hill. I think Forest Hill is going to get Holmes County. I know Holmes County. So I'm going to give y'all some bulletin board, Holmes County. If y'all call it that. I don't believe in bulletin board. Is my opinion. I think Forest Hill, personally, I felt Forest Hill is, when they're clicking on all cylinders, they are one of the top 3 teams at any level in the state. And they're very good. So that's what I see on the 5A. I'm not going to go through all the A's, but I'm going to go through the ones I've seen. I've seen all those teams play, except Hattiesburg. Hadn't seen Hattiesburg. So I know Hattiesburg is probably going to be saying they ain't giving us a chance. I do know they have a very good player in Alex Jordan. So I haven't seen Hattiesburg. but be very interesting to see. Can somebody? I'm waiting on somebody to come up and give me a little something on the live chat. I see people are watching, but I don't have any comments, any questions that you may have on the live chat right here. So I'm open for it. I ain't gonna be on here long. In 6A, we have Clinton, Harrison Central, Starkville, and who else is that? Oak Grove. That's a great 4-8. That's good 4 teams right there. Harrison Central shoes. I know he got to be excited. He had a #1 from the beginning of the year. I watched them play. No question, they are talented. They're talented enough to win a state championship. Fat Boy has proven that. The question was, can Fat Boy handle the point guard position? And he's proven. Sounds like he's proven that he can. And so it's going to be very interesting to see if they can beat Clinton, which arguably you can say those two, Harrison Central is one of the few teams that can match Clinton's talent, at least through the first 5 to 6 players. Clinton is just loaded. They are the most talented team in the state, and I've said that from the beginning. It's just a matter of which Clinton team is going to show up. And I hope that the little bit of doubt sometimes I have in Clinton helps them, because I love to see Clinton win a state championship. Coach Green's a good guy. I don't know everybody's coach, so I can't root for everybody. I like Coach Brunfield, met him, good, solid individual. Love to see him win a state championship. Obviously, Greg Carter, great. Obviously a great coach. So Starkville is going to be tough to beat. They've been there before. If Oak Grove can beat them, I think it's going to be Starkville and Clinton, though. That's who I'm predicting, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna give. I'm gonna reserve my who I pick tomorrow night. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna sleep on that one. Who I'm gonna get, but I got Clinton and Starkville in the championship on that. 4A. That's another interesting. Pontotoc, Raymond, Lanier, and can somebody help me out? Who is that? Pontotoc, Raymond, Lanier. I gotta go try to look at it. We'll see who Pontotoc has to play. Oh boy, let's see here. I'm still waiting on a couple coaches who have a coach, and a couple coaches who are supposed to come on Pontotoc. Can somebody help me out? It's Pontotoc, Lanier, and who else? Raymond. We know Raymond. Anybody else want to help me out on the podcast right now? Who's the other 4A person? I'll find out here shortly. I'm gonna look. Brandon Shields always has the information. Be shout out to Brandon Shields, one of the best there is in the business. Right now, while I'm doing this, can you guys follow me, on Twitter at EVGeeker, and then subscribe to my channel. We're gonna be doing this, talking hoops in the sip all throughout NBA playoffs, college, the whole nine. While we're looking for that here, I got the schedule. Shields already got it out. On Monday, 9 a.m. girls, Class 1A, Biggersville versus West Lowndes. 10:30 a.m. Ingomar versus Simmons. I'm gonna try to get out and see the great Ingomar play, because I want to see Macy Pfeiffer play. I think she plays for that team. Boys on Monday, Biggersville versus McAdams, and then Ingomar versus McEvans. There's a couple kids on Ingomar. Tyson Smithy, I think, Aiden Johnson, and Zach Sugars, the Dandy Dozen. I want to get a chance to see him play. So they said my live chat's not on, but it is on. You just have to comment on it. I think so. Somebody just hit me and said it's not on, but I think it is. Somebody try, if you would, just say hello. So we got the little tweet. So let me go back to Brandon Shields again. We were just on something. So then let's see, from also on Monday, so Tuesday we got New Site 2A versus Newton, Calhoun City versus Union. Like to see that one. My man asked me, was we on live? I like, yeah, I am. I'm on by myself. My guys, people are now wanting to come on in, so come on in. On noon, Coahoma County, find a way. Here we go. It just came on. Itawamba, 2A had major upsetting boys. Okay, Rod Smith. I see. Coahoma must have been New Site. Coahoma County, that's my hometown, got it done once again. They are here Tuesday at noon. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Wow. Lanier versus Pontotoc. Oh my God. I just saw that. That is stupid. That is stupid. That's going to be a stupid game there. Let's talk about that game right there. I got my boy Corey getting ready to come on. If I can get him the link. That is stupid. That's a stupid game. Just stupid. That, oh man. Pontotoc, the talent that they have versus the upstart Lanier Bulldogs, 8-3-3 in the building. Pontotoc has probably, oh man, you give them the edge maybe in talent. Gavin Brinker is a high major player. Rock Robinson, Joe Hayes Austin are college level players, no question. And Corey Isaac says Pontotoc scored 32 points tonight. You think so? Yeah. When you played against Anthony Carlisle in Yazoo City, he dictates the game. Anthony Carlisle is one of the best at doing that ever, like that I've seen. He's one of the best. Anthony Carlisle, only around 30 years old, 30-some years old. He's the young legend. And you're right, Rob Smith. Lanier is one of the most slept on teams in the state. But I told people from the beginning and again, I don't have it all, but I told people back in the day, and I got my man Cord on with me. What up, Cord?
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Chilling, man. We just on late night, dog. We just here. You know, I ain't got nothing going on. My family's out of town, so I'm just here. I just ate me a little salad. You know, usually I eat more than a salad, but I said late, I'm gonna get me a salad. I ain't trying to trick nobody. You know, it was always something. You got one of the big cats. They talking about what you eat, man. I just had me a salad and soup. No, you've been eating more than salad and soup. You know, you been eating some cookies and stuff. But right now, I did just have a salad today. So we were just talking about. I was just talking about Lanier Pontotoc. I was getting ready to make my prediction on the boys' side. And one of the things I'll say, Lanier, I remember when Lanier beat Murrah early in the year, I told people, Lanier is the real deal. I said Lanier was better than Murrah, and they were. And they have proven out, shout out to Bo Clark, who has gotten a lot of flack over the years. Guys have transferred out and they got it done. He has, and here's the thing, and then people have transferred in, and now what he did is he got the right team. Sometimes, man, you just got to get the right mix of guys. And, I just think about some of the guys that left there that are starters at other places. Terrell Dixon, he's a big time player at Brandon. AJ Richards, 6'8", transferred over to Callaway. Both starters that was at Lanier last year. And so sometimes it's not a good fit, or whatever the reason is. And it's no disrespect to those kids or even Bo. It's like this. And I think some people, kind of, and as we welcome Tricky Jackson from Starkville. And what up, Tricky?
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Glad to be here.
Yeah. I think we sometimes get it twisted, like let's just take, for example, a job we may be in. And sometimes we don't like the supervisor, the boss, or we just it's not a fit. You know what I mean? What happens? What do? We change jobs. Am I right?
Yeah.
We get another job sometimes. So sometimes it's just not a good fit, or it's not the right fit at that time. And so at the end of the day, that's what it was. And so we want to also, our prayers go up to Bo Clark. He is dealing with pneumonia. I think he's doing better, I heard, but we just want to keep praying. Pneumonia is not something to play with. And as he's in the hospital, or I don't know if he's in the hospital still, but we praying. And shout out to Ralph Red Anderson. He stepped in and done a phenomenal job so far. I want to spend time a little bit with just a little bit more time on Lanier. Corterius Shaw right now is arguably one of the hottest players in the state. A lot of people hadn't heard that name. They've heard me talk about him a little bit. He's 6'4", 250 pounds, going to Jones College on a football scholarship. One day probably will play in the NFL. Is the best passer in no question in the state, arguably in the country, and he plays for Lanier. And it's going to be very interesting to see how he is one of the few kids that can dominate a game without hitting a jump shot. And the veteran referee Tyrone Kidd said, and I agree totally with him, he said he's the closest thing that he's seen to Magic Johnson. And that's a major statement, but I'm in totally agree with him. And so it's gonna be that game is gonna be very interesting. So I'm doing some predictions right now, because when we jump off into the girls, we're gonna have you do some more predictions too, and we'll predict over there. But in 4A, I got Lanier 8-3-3 in a close one against Pontotoc, and they will play Raymond for a rematch in the championship. And I'll pick who I got for the champion on maybe tomorrow or later. But that's who I got right now. I love my Pontotoc people. I know they're gonna be like, boo, but that's who I got right now. So
let me ask you a question real quick on that kid you were talking about at Lanier. I haven't seen him play. I'm going to try to check him out over the next couple of days. But, do you have an idea how many assists a game he averages?
Well, let me say this. Probably, let's say, I'm going to say 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
But I'm going to just tell you this. Here's what he's done. He's single-handedly, he's the reason. If I had to pick one player off the team, that while Lanier is what they're doing, he's that guy. He's what he's done now is everybody loves sharing the ball. And you know how there's an old saying my coach used to say, passing teams are happy teams. I'm telling you, Lanier is elated. They are laughing. They're happy. They are as happy as they can be. They're hysterical. I mean, I'm telling you, he's Magic Johnson for real. And to be honest with you, I just have to be honest. You know who he really reminds me of? Cordarius?
I know you
go ahead
say.
Cordarius, who am I going to say? Who is he really?
Young EV.
He reminds me of myself. You knew it. Man, I'm telling you, There's not many, and people who know me when I play, I was a phenomenal passer. I always tell kids all the time when they make a special pass, I always say, only people could have made that pass was me, Magic, and John Stockton or Larry Bird. Because, Larry Bird was a phenomenal passer. People don't realize how great a passer he was, but that kid is really good. Let me shift real quick. Tricky, talk to me. Tricky, your son played today in the MAIS championship.
The 4A,
4A against Hartfield. And I happen to know a little bit about Hartfield. I know the high flyer, I call him young Tom Chambers, John Lucas, who's going to McNeese State, plays for Hartfield. And I saw also the transfer from Velma Jackson, Josh Lee. I saw y'all took maybe a 48-26 loss, maybe something like that.
Final score was 45-20.
45-20. Talk to me now, Tricky. Now, I know you guys, obviously you got to the championship and you'll be playing the overall next week. I'm assuming.
Right. Yes.
20 points in 4 quarters. I mean, what happened?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. We just had a terrible shooting night, and it's just one of them things where, I mean, to be honest with you, they're not a super good shooting team anyway, but tonight was probably the worst shooting night they've had all year. And it's just unfortunate that it had to be in the championship game. But, on a guess, we might have been 6 for 35. And I mean, shots that weren't necessarily contested. We had some good looks, and they just weren't falling tonight. I remember first half, at the end of the first half, we were 4 for 20 from the field, 0 from 9 from the three. And I like second half, we'll get out of this slump. And it continued. What we had going for us was defensively, we were very aggressive. We held them for 46 points. They're actually a high offense team with Josh Lee and with what's the big man's name?
John Lucas.
Lucas. They're a pretty high-powered offensive team. Same thing with the team we played in the semifinals. Simpson, they actually put up 100 points on Leak the game before, and we held them to 40. So defensively, we were in it. We were on them. We had Josh Lee frustrated the first half. He got 2 fouls. He went out kind of early. But, it is what it is. You can't make shots. You can't win games. And we couldn't make shots. We held them to 46, but knock on wood, next week we can get those shots dropping again, and maybe it might be a different story. But we actually beat them earlier in the season. I don't think Josh Lee was playing that game. He may have been coming off an injury, just getting back, but we beat him by a last-second 3 in that game, but it was neck and neck the whole game. I think it would have been the same thing tonight if we could have hit 10 out of 35 shots. That's another 20 points. Now you got a ball game. So just one of those nights they couldn't hit shots tonight.
Wow. Well, at the end of the day, man, everybody doesn't get to the state championship. So congratulations on you guys getting there. Next week you have an opportunity to play. One thing I like about the MAIS is the fact that you get an opportunity next week to do an overall.
Absolutely.
A-round, so you get a chance to keep playing. Before I go to you, Court, and let's get on this girls, I see Adonis Dixon had he had a question or a statement on live chat. It said, and please, people just check in, ask questions, comments, and stuff on the live is available. He said, Harrison Central versus Clinton, Starkville, Oak Grove, going to be interesting to see how Harrison Central try to slow Kamani Hamilton down. Kamani Hamilton is the 6'8" wing on Clinton. Kamani Hamilton is very talented, Adonis, but they ain't gonna just have to slow down Kamani Hamilton. Clinton got 10 guys you're gonna have to slow down. Mm-hmm. It's not. You would think it's Kamani Hamilton and the rest of them, but it's really Kamani Hamilton is the best college prospect on the team. There's no doubt about that. It's not even close. He's a high major player. He's a high major talent. But Clinton has 10 guys that can hoop. and they all are not. They all are just ready to go. Clinton again is not, as far as 10 players. There's no other team in the state. They got 10 better players on their team right now than Clinton. Clinton's second five could start a lot of people's teams. I mean, they're just that good. They all kind of know their role. I'm sure they got 4 or 5 guys averaging double figures.
You know, it's funny that's normally how Starkville High School has been the last few years. I don't think they're quite that deep this year, but they are still about 3 or 4. They can still go into their bench about 3 or 4 deep.
Yeah, Starkville and Clinton. I already you went on, Tricky. I'm predicting Starkville and Clinton, and I'm not going to pick the winner. I may pick the winner tomorrow on our regular show, but I got Starkville and Clinton.
I agree, and that'll be a rematch, won't it? From
a rematch from earlier in the year. Clinton got them earlier here at Mississippi College, but right. I know I can just imagine Greg Carter has some up for him. But Clinton right now is, if Clinton plays up to their ability, their talent level, it's going to be hard for it's going to be hard for Starkville to beat them.
Right.
They're just that good. Clinton. And I will say this: I don't think Clinton's going to have any letdowns right now because they know what's at stake. So they're going to be. I'm assuming they're going to be hungry, and so that's going to be a great game. I was saying earlier, the 5A is going to be good in boys. Callaway got upset, and we can say what we want. It's definitely an upset. Lake Cormorant is good, and we respect Lake Cormorant in what they've done, but it's just an upset. That's just what it is. When you beat the defending champions and the best player in the state and one of the top 24 in the country, that's an upset. And so so it'd be very interesting. That's going to be great. And then 4A, like I said, it's going to be I got Lanier and Raymond in the finals, and that's going to be a good one. I haven't seen Itawamba. And so maybe somebody on here can tell me about Itawamba. I have not seen them. Have you seen them, Corey?
I've seen them on live stream for about 2 quarters. They got a really good point guard and a big man.
Keandre Hampton. Yeah. He's another one. And I was sitting there listening to you talk about this guy that passes the ball. I know a couple other guys that are really good passers. Keandre's one of them.
Let me ask you this then, Tricky. Here's what I want to know. Does Keandre, this is what makes this kid so special, Corterius Shaw. He makes the baseball pass. He makes the kick ahead pass. He makes the penetrating pass. Not one time, not 2 times, every time. He's looking like, really, in reality, and I'm not trying to give out any scouting reports, so I'm, but because the games are what you got to stay on your man, because if not, I'm talking about you give him an inch, man. The man is making the pass. He's Magic Johnson for real. Like Tyrone Kidd, he laughed when I told him I was going to put him out there. I'm upset that I didn't think of that, because the kid reminded me of myself. That's what I was really thinking. And then Magic happens to be my favorite player, so the kid is like that. So does Keandre Hampton make the baseball pass? That's what I want to know.
Keandre, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one that led Tupelo to the Final Four a couple of years ago, and then he ended up transferring. I think that following year, with some things that went on down there to school. But he's very versatile point guard when it comes to his court vision. And he's a pass first guard, but he can score the ball as well.
Okay.
So I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen him play that much this year, but the times that I have seen him play, it stands out in my mind. And I knew that Itawamba was doing really good this year with his leadership.
Well, I love to see that. Then Itawamba, again, I haven't seen him, so I just know Raymond is big house tested. So Tony Tadlock does a phenomenal job with Tremaine Dixon and Jabari Robinson and the rest of those Raymond kids. They've been there before.
Oh yeah.
So
They got it.
I kind of gave them the edge. let's switch over to girls. I got some comments. Somebody, Corey Isaac says, in 5A girls, with Columbus losing, do we have Laurel winning it all? Who was the final five in 5A? Corey, do you know?
Final. You talking about the Final Four? I know. Holmes County, Laurel.
Holmes County Central. I'm gonna look right.
Pontotoc, and I'm missing somebody.
Oh, here it is. No, that's 4A, 5A. Hold on.
Oh, 5A, no mind.
Neshoba Central and Laurel. That's who's playing.
That's okay.
Holmes County Central versus Brookhaven.
Okay. I'm thinking about 4A when I said Pontotoc.
Or I know Neshoba Central can flat out score the basketball. I haven't seen Laurel play, so
I haven't seen them either. I know Neshoba is good. I haven't seen Laurel. I know they got the young lady going to Jones. I still got Holmes County winning, kind of the favorite overall. This been my pick for a couple months now.
Holmes County?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Corey. You said it's been your pick for a couple months. Why is this the first time I heard you say it?
I've been saying Holmes County. You have to go back and I've been saying they've been tough. They deep. I like their guard play. They got young bigs that I think, they can help them out and energetic. I just like their guard play they got. I feel like when they crank it up, they look good. Sabrina Rule and Angel and you got Miss you got Andrews.
Yeah, Carly Andrews, no question. Holmes County Central is talented enough, no question, to win the state championship. I happen to see Brookhaven play. They're pretty good, well coached by Coach Wilson. That's going to be a good game. And then Holmes County has the best seventh grader, arguably in the country, in Kelsey Andrews. There's no question in my mind. There's not five better seventh graders in the world than Kelsey Andrews. In the world. I just want to make that clear. Europe, wherever you want to live, Alaska, countries we never heard of. She's 6'3", Tricky. She can handle it. She runs like a deer. She's solid. She can shoot the three. She can catch the ball. She can finish with either hand. She's really good. Pound for pound, they are arguably the most talented team. But I'm just gonna go out on the limb, and I'm gonna say it's going to be Neshoba Central beating Laurel. Said. I'm going to say Neshoba Central. I've never seen neither one of them play, but I got a feeling Neshoba Central, if they're hitting their jumpers, and I believe they're just going to be hitting their jumpers that day, will beat Laurel, and they will play Holmes County Central in the championship. So that's my prediction. I don't know who's going to win yet. I'm not going to make the prediction today, but I'm going to say that's who I'm going to go with.
I like to stick to my gun, so that's why I said. I mean, I know on the last show I said it loud and clear, Holmes County Central, but I like to stick to my guns, so
I like that.
Stay to it.
Okay, cool. Let's go to 4A, Choctaw Central versus Parish Christian. Haven't seen Parish Christian. I know they got a girl named Kubo, 6'3", that's pretty good at Parish Christian. I do know about her. Pontotoc versus Moss Pond, obviously. Sky Vaughn, Samaya Brooks. It's going to be Choctaw Central versus Pontotoc in the finals. What you got, Cora?
I got the same thing. Choctaw looked really good yesterday against Tishomingo. It was crazy. They was hitting on all cylinders. And Tishomingo beat them early in the season.
That's what I thought.
They beat Tishomingo pretty good.
Yeah, they beat them pretty good. Talante said Choctaw Central, no question. And I told Talante Tishomingo played them pretty good the last time and actually beat them. So that was a big win to go and beat them by 20. Corey Isaac, you're welcome to come on any night that you like, man. Some nights we love to have you come on and talk basketball. Let's see, we got now my phone is that okay.
Hey, are we looking at the possibility of Pontotoc? Are they the only school right now that could possibly have a boys and girls go to a championship?
I think Ingomar is the other one.
Ingomar, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got Ingomar winning it, yeah.
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 Okay.
On the girl side in 3A, Belmont versus Kemper County and Cassuth versus Crystal Springs. I definitely got Belmont in one of those. You got Cassuth, Court?
They upset the Independent. Well, I ain't gonna say they upset. They beat Independence first round. They was Independence was the higher seed. I mean, it's a coin toss for me. I don't know anything about. We said Crystal Springs. What you
Yeah.
said? I don't know too much about them on the coast down there. I know Belmont is strong. It's gonna be tough for anybody to beat Belmont. They strong. They're gonna be a tough out for anybody.
So you got, if Belmont and Cassuth play, it's no question in your mind you taking Belmont.
I'm taking Bill. I can't bet against Macy Walker right now.
Macy Walker, I don't blame you. I got you. Macy Walker is special. I'm interested in seeing that Ingomar because I want to see Macy Pfeiffer play.
Yeah, me too.
And they got a couple other ones. I'm gonna go watch them play on Monday.
Yeah. Katie Bell Hall.
Who is it? Who
Ingomar.
is it Ingomar's playing?
Huh?
Who is it Ingomar's playing?
Ingomar.
The girls, the Ingomar team. Who are they playing?
Ingomar girls are playing Simmons.
Simmons. Okay.
Their boys are playing McEvans.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, because here's an interesting matchup going back to the boys. Senatobia. Have you seen Senatobia boys play, Corey?
Senatobia look real good tonight. I can't lie. They look real good.
They play St. Andrews, and St. Andrews has arguably one of the besides, like I said there's Deshaun Ruffin and everyone else. Arguably the next best guard in the state is Rashad Bolden. He plays for St. Andrews. All he does is, as a freshman, he won a state championship with Garrison Wade as the leader. Then he comes back last year and leads them to upsetting Velma Jackson. Velma Jackson, if they play Velma Jackson 10 times, I really believe Velma Jackson will win 9. But last year, St. Andrews got it done. And so that's all that mattered. And they were led by Rashad Bolden. Rashad Bolden is no question a Division I player. And all he's done is quietly average about 28 points a game. And so it's going to be hard to pick against St. Andrews. I got St. Andrews over Senatobia. And who do you have, Boonville versus Kemper County?
I'm going to go Boonville. They look pretty good to me the times I've seen them. I don't know much of their personnel name by name, but they look pretty good when I've seen them.
So we're going to go Boonville and St. Andrews. And if
I'm gonna go Kemper County because if I'm not mistaken, the coach over there at Kemper County is, if I'm not mistaken, that's the old assistant coach from Starkville High School. So he's made a good turnaround over there in a short period of time. So I'm gonna go with him.
Good, Tricky. I'm glad we got somebody different. I'm glad you didn't maybe give us something. We didn't know that.
And I'm not gonna pick nobody with Senatobia. I mean, Senatobia been playing good, but I heard about the St. Andrews kids, so I want to pick as bad as I want to pick Senatobia. I know they made a nice run at the end of the season, so they kind of just on one of them hot streaks. They're a young team. They got some good guards. You got Washington, you got Jagger Young been playing, made the All-Star game. But I'm just gonna kind of sit back and watch that. Hopefully
that might be the difference right there because I think St. Andrews is a little bit more veteran team, and they've been there, so that could be a difference. But I think that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, they got Rashad Bolden. They got Javion Johnson, who last year, when Rashad Bolden fouled out in the fourth quarter, handled some of the ball for him and keeping the lead, and is actually extending the lead. They were up 9 when Rashad went out and ended up winning by 20. And so, not to count out Javion Johnson for St. Andrews. And a shout out to Russell Marcellus. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. The coach, the new coach, he came in over from Richland, and he's the new coach at St. Andrews. And got to give him a lot of credit. It's hard for a new coach to come in, take over a team, and to get a team in the Final Four in the big house in your first year at a new school. That's big time. So shout out to you, Coach, if you're listening, or if somebody tells you, it's amazing how many people listen to this show and they say to me, "EV, I heard you, you talking about the show," and then they'll be like, "Yeah, I heard you, EV dog," and so, or EV, I heard you. Well, I don't dog nobody. I have my opinion. Let's go to 6A girls where we got just like a monster matchup in the semifinal. Olive Branch versus Meridian. And Germantown versus Harrison Central.
I'm gonna let you make that prediction. That OB Meridian game.
Well, here's the thing. I was just and talk to me, Corey, because you said this. I've heard you talk about this before. I want to back up. Olive Branch played Madison Central the other night, and all I've seen on Twitter is that Madison Central basically got homered. I heard it was the fans were classless, and I'm going on Twitter. I'm going off of Twitter.
Yeah.
I've never been to Olive Branch. They were hard on the girls. I know you said that kind of before. It's hard to win there, and they said the refs let the thing get out of control, and it was, and Madison Central field. Matter of fact, they called the game with 50 seconds left.
Wow. I just heard about it. I checked the through live streams people doing. I just heard about it. It's a thing. It's an ongoing thing that's really been going on with Olive Branch. Not really gonna speak too much about it because it'll have to be something, everybody know what's going on. It gotta be some kind of way where you can kind of it's all right by cheering, but it's cheering, then it's taking it to another level. You know what I'm saying? Like chastising young ladies and calling them out their name is kind of too far, especially when you not their age and you're older black men like ourselves. You know what I'm saying on here? So you just gotta. It's all right to cheer, but just doing a little bit too much. And I knew it was gonna happen. And it happened that particular night. And hopefully, because Olive Branch is a great team. But, hopefully they fans will get out the way. But they're going to have to get out of the way anyway. They're not going to be able to be that far on the court, down there in Jackson. So it's going to be, because, I heard Meridian say the same thing. Just hard to play there. They just had one of the worst games they played. So hopefully
yeah,
it's kind of hard to talk about because I'm around the area. I know a little bit, but
No, I got you. So I'll take over from you from here. So I'll go ahead and read between the lines for you. And if you are, I love, to be honest with you, personally as a player and as a coach, I love going into hostile environments. I really do. Like I got off on that. I got off on hitting a shot, and I didn't put my finger up and, be like, or anything like that.
You were thinking it though.
I was thinking it, and my swagger was so, I wanted to have the swagger of this is what I do. You know what I mean? I didn't get excited. And it wasn't a lot of that during our age. That just started the fist bumping and chest bumping and all like that. That wasn't going on then. What I did, if I made a sweet pass or a sweet play, that was my because just be quiet. I'm killing. I'm gonna kill you so much you gonna be quiet. That heckler in the stand, he ain't gonna be saying nothing to me afterwards because I'm gonna be like I'm gonna be killing so much. And here's the thing, years ago, I'll speak for myself. I've been a heckler before. I was a heckler. I remember going to Indiana Tech games, and we would sit on the front row, and man, we would be on them. Man, I would be on them. Sometimes I sit behind the visitors' bench. But it was always, I never called, and these are college guys. I never did it at a girl game. Because I do think I think it's different with girls and guys. I really do. I think girls, you just have, I have 3 daughters. And so I wouldn't want somebody calling my daughter out of their name, so I wouldn't want that. And I'm sure they wouldn't want that happening to them. They wouldn't want, I'm sure I'll just use because I know her. I'm sure Miss Piggy wouldn't want somebody calling Raymond out of a name, or Mr. Black wouldn't want nobody. You know what I mean? They're gonna have a problem. Mr. Black, if somebody was called Raymond, I think what's Black's name? Brianna? That's the 8th grader, isn't it? What's the senior's name?
Amaya.
Yeah, Amaya. That's right. The one going to Jones. Well, if he heard somebody call her a name, now I ain't never met Mr. Black, but I've heard about Mr. Black. Mr. Black ain't taking that, is he, Corey?
Oh no, Black ain't taking it at all. No.
So I know that. So now you got to start getting in the mindset.
Black, he a good fan. He one of them down home Olive Branch. You know what I'm saying? He just gonna cheer you for Olive Branch all the way through and through. You know, you okay with them fans, but it's the ones that cross the line.
Here's what I'm saying though. The good fans like the Mr. Blacks. Yeah. We gotta put the ones that's not. We gotta check the ones that ain't the good fans, because why? It kind of, you know how it is. It puts them all in that boat of they all negative.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what we have to do, and we have to do that as coaches, parents, fans. We need to begin to police each other, because if somebody's doing something out the way, cussing at kids or calling them a B, you slut, that type of stuff. That stuff is, come on now. Now nobody should be cool with that.
Yeah.
If you cool, like, to be honest with you, if you allow that, I gotta look at you funny. You ain't nobody.
Absolutely.
Because Ransom and I at that point I didn't really hear about what was going on, but I woke up and I seen Ransom put like a couple things on social media and was like, she feel like she got cheated at her.
Right.
Like, you got beat by 20 though, but at the same time, like, you got beat by 20, but you got cheated. So
yeah, I look at that. I do look at that a little bit too, because I like, if I feel like for example, I'll give you an example. Cleveland Central came to Callaway the other day and played, and the fans was talking about they were talking about, man, they cheating, this, that, and he doing this, he doing that. I was at the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I called the game. I announced the game. Now, was the officiating horrible? Absolutely. But it was horrible both ways. Cleveland Central didn't get cheated. Cleveland Central had a great game plan. Shout out to Coach Berryhill. Did a phenomenal game plan against Callaway. It was just Callaway was just a better team. That's all it was. But it wasn't cheating. So I don't pull the cheat card. Thank you, Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy is on here. I love it. That's why I love the internet. She's here. She says she got the full game coverage. She says she'll send me the link to see for myself. It was not like that. I would love to see that because I want to.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say that you got cheated to get beat by 20 something. It's tough. That's tough.
That's true. That's true.
Well,
if it's a close game, it's a different story. 4 or 5 point game.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you real quick, EV, because we kind of got away from you talking about being a heckler back in the day, and not calling the names out for the girls and stuff. So is that? Am I hearing that on the guy's side you was calling them out their name?
No, I wouldn't. No. I wasn't. But
everything goes on the guy's side.
Well, to be honest, it's a little different. And I had to realize, I was like, man, I was just on there like, let's say you on a team, you on the other team. So I'm pulling for Tat. This is my squad. Tricky, you can't go, he gonna kill you. He can't, you can't guard him. You can't play off, stuff like that.
Right, got you.
You know what I mean?
Getting the head type stuff.
Oh yeah, you garbage, man. Now I may call somebody you garbage.
Right.
You can't play. And then if somebody would say something to me, I'd be like, man, you can't play. You ain't that good. And so you better not, like, if they ever say anything to me, oh, it's on. One time, I'll never forget this. It was me and my boy was sitting there, and we was talking. And then this lady came over and said, you're over there talking about so-and-so, and he's a millionaire. And it just so happened my boy is a millionaire too. I said, he is too. I pointed to him. I said, he is too. So what does that mean? You know, I mean, it was crazy, man. People would say, because I said, man, we're just having fun. We don't mean any harm, but we pushing for our team. So I think there's something. I think that you can have. I'll give you a perfect. The best fans to me in the state. They were probably down at Lake Cormorant tonight. The Callaway boys. That's what I call them. They're brothers. And man, I'm telling you, it's worth the price of admission just to watch them cheer Callaway. Man, if Callaway make if Deshaun make a shot, whomever, they running down the sideline with the three, they doing all that three to the head. They coming. If you there on the front row, they sit on the front row every game. If you are there and you on their team, Dre Montana, my man Dre, and his brother, Trill Will. If you there and you on the other team, they coming in your face. But it's all in fun. And then what Dre gonna hit you is with he gonna blow a kiss at you. I mean, these guys, man, I love them. I got to get them on the show, Corey. They just, man, them guys are phenomenal. See, I like guys like that. Like, I like that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I like fans like that. But like calling the names, and you know, Miss Piggy, talk to me since you're here. Talk to me about this, Miss Piggy, or Rayma's mom, or Pastor Angela. Talk to me about your, you know, if you would, the fans that, you know, the fans that they talking about. Are they out of character? Should they be saying the things that they say? If you're still listening, can you jump in and let me know about that? And so, and we'll come back to it if she asks. Come in about it. Let me ask you this, Tricky, was you guys, that game, was that the last game of the night for Starkville? Yeah.
It was the last game of the night, yeah.
Okay, where did y'all play the 4A state championship at?
It was at Hillcrest.
Okay.
It was at Hillcrest. And, you know, Starkville fans came out. I was a little bit concerned about that. We didn't have as many fans, I think, yesterday, but today, obviously the day with the state championship, they came out today. And you're right, fans can make a big difference in a game, especially the right type of fans, you know, cheering, getting in opposing teams' heads, that type of thing. And most of the teams that were in the state tournament, the Final Four, were a lot closer to Hillcrest or to that location than we were. And so we were fortunate that our fans did travel and come out and support. So I didn't feel like we were at a disadvantage at all from that standpoint tonight. But I will say this, y'all have convinced me to pull from Meridian now over Olive Branch for the girls, just because of the fans.
Let me ask you this. Okay, Ms. Piggy says the guy that they were speaking of was not talking to the players. He was yelling at the MC coach saying game over.
Well, you know what? But, you know, you can look at that two ways. He's yelling at the coach, but the players are hearing it. So right. It's still, you know, and I've seen that before. And I've seen people do that before. And again, it serves a purpose. It's psychological, you know.
Right.
You know, they know the players are hearing what they're saying. And they're still getting in their heads or attempting to get in their head. And, you know, think about the trash talk sometimes from the fans. You got to know which players to do that to. Because some players, you can get in their head and they'll go back and forth and pull them out the game. Some of them will do maybe like you were talking about as a coach. They'll get hyped up and they'll shut you up. So you got to be careful who you going to do that with, too, as a fan.
Okay, here's another thing. She said there's two things that happened. Melissa Walker, a.k.a. Macy's mom, said as a parent, it's hard to hear grown people call out or heckle my kid. but it doesn't
Yeah.
bother her. She loves to play in a loud environment with lots of energy. Now, Rayma Piggy's mom, Miss Angela said the MC player came over to our side and called him out of his name, and he said she needed to pay attention to the game. So that's very interesting. And I always go this what people say. The Bible says, I'm always have no problem in quoting the Bible. There's always two sides of the story. So on Twitter, MC, some of the kids, said their side, and then now we're hearing the other side. And so, it sounds like this is a good topic to talk about eventually. What is okay? What is okay to say to a kid?
Tell me this, EV though. But see, situations like that is good when you on that side, and it's bad when you're on the other side. So if you switched it, it'll be just say if it was MC, like people like from that side to be saying it, and people from Olive Branch would be like, "Oh no, you called out." You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have their story. You know what I'm saying?
No question. There's no question. Let me ask you this, Tricky, as a father, and you're a father too, Corey, but your kids, I don't think, are playing high school ball.
No, my kids young.
I'm at Starkville Academy. I'm with Hartville. And I say to Reese, because see, I see parents getting in over. I say stuff like this: "Let him shoot. He can't shoot. No Jay Simpson." So now, as a parent, that's your son. You hear me say that,
right?
Like,
I don't think
to me,
I
didn't really
that would bother me. Let me start with this, because you mentioned something about the Bible, and I firmly believe you do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and so I wouldn't say anything towards a player from a standpoint of a fan that I wouldn't want said to my kid. Now, that's going to vary depending on the fan, because some fans they'll say certain things and they don't care what you say to their kid. I'll give you a prime example. I was coaching a practice one day, and there were a couple of parents in there watching, and I think that's why a lot of teams have closed practices. But they're scrimmaging, and the parent is kind of hyping up the team that his son is on. And so his son is checking one kid, and he's saying, get in him, he can't shoot, and this, that, and another thing. I had to tell that parent to chill out. We don't do that here. Because one of the things for me, and this is obviously a practice situation, I'm trying to build a confidence in my players. I don't need a parent in there telling one of the players that he can't shoot or he can't dribble. But my point being, I think that as a fan, I think you want to keep in mind, if you don't want something said a certain way to your child, you wouldn't want to say that to another person's child. And the other thing is, you never know who you're sitting by. You say the wrong thing in the crowd, it could be a problem. I've seen it happen many times.
No question.
So you have to keep those things in mind as a fan.
I agree with you, but me saying, and I know you're not gonna like this because it's your son, but me saying no Jay Simpson, all I'm saying is that out of line when we look
that wouldn't bother me.
All right,
that wouldn't bother me.
And or my son's on offense and Tricky and Reese is guarding me, I'm saying kill him. He can't guard you. Like,
I've said that before. Yeah,
because you got a son, but you actually got a son on the team. You're gonna obviously pull for your son,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
So what I'm saying, I think that those are. I think there are boundaries. I agree, there are boundaries that shouldn't be crossed, but we have to be realistic, even with our own children. And I'm with you. I agree with you that you reap what you sow. If you do it to somebody else, expect to do it to yours. I don't have a problem with my son getting heckled like that, per se. Now, I don't want my son to be called out of his name. You know what I mean?
Right.
You shouldn't you shouldn't do that. You should not do that. But as far as Man, he can't play. He can't guard him. That's a part of it, to me.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
Because you trying to we're trying to gain every advantage possible. And as long as you're not cussing them out, calling somebody, you soft, such and such, such and such. Now,
Right.
and I can say the soft, but it's got to stay at soft. Oh, he's soft.
Right.
He's a baby. You baby him. Well, of course, when I say that to you about your son, even though I ain't saying that out of line per se, me and you still might have words, because when he does score, your natural reaction gonna be like, he's soft that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So now, because you're gonna be like looking at him like, with them muscular arms, you're gonna be doing all this. I can just see you right now. I don't know if my battery is running low, so
yeah, man is too.
Yeah. Mine is my I got a bad connection on it. Oh Lord, I don't know what can happen.
I'm gonna take a second and grab my charger too, so man don't cut off while you doing it.
Hold on 1 second. There it is.
Back in action.
Okay. All right. Now, I was here. I don't know what it was, But anyway, it'd be like that. I think that's something. All right, good. All right. She sent me some links. I'm gonna watch the game, and good. I'll be able to hear what's being said. Cool. Corey Isaac says it's a thin line on what can be said today. I announce games here in Frisco, Texas. I would love to come on tomorrow and discuss. Great topic. We might talk about that.
Yeah, and I heard about the same thing about the player going over to the fan. So who went wrong at that point? Is it the fan or the player?
Well, here's the thing.
I know both of them in the wrong. Like I feel like the players, you still got to have some kind of you got to reserve and be calm and don't listen to what the fans saying and stuff like that. But obviously some made her heated.
And here's the thing: we have to see. We have to always look at this mindset. One of the things I saw Miss Piggy said. She said, and I quote, "He never addressed the kid until she came over and disrespected him by calling him names. He only said, pay attention to the game because y'all are losing." So if that's all he said, he didn't, and he did not call her name. If that was all was said, then he didn't say anything wrong. What I have a problem with sometimes is, as when young people who get disrespectful, or I don't have necessarily a problem, but I'm challenged with it. Somebody's got to be the adult in the situation. So if a young person came over and called me a fat B, okay, now I gotta like what he's done is, I'm a man. Although I'm a Christian man and believe God, I'm still a man. But for me, EV, I'm a man of God. So that has to, I'm just talking about for me, that's gotta take precedent over what he said and what he called me. So I got to say really nothing, or I gotta say something that will calm the situation. And the Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath. So he could call me a fat B and I can say, young fella, come on, man. Like, really?
Right.
Are you serious? I ain't calling you out your name. And so right there, he's here, but I'm here. And I've seen it happen. As long as I don't ever engage here, he's going to come down. Because he's gonna think about it, and he's gonna be out here by himself.
Yeah, I want folks to think about it though. When your back's against the wall, when you lose, then somebody say that, oh, you going to JSU and you not that good, It gets under your skin, especially for a kid. And like you said, somebody had to be the adult in that situation, because it can get under a kid's skin. It just will, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah,
especially
and
when
so,
you know.
yeah, you're right, Corey.
No, it's probably something that I'm glad we having this conversation, because as a coach, you know, you have to prepare the kids for those types of things. Even as a parent, I guess, parents and coaches, you have to prepare, because like you said earlier, it can be a part of it. And, you know, you're going to have kind of thick skin. You know, I tell my kids all the time, you know, when they're playing games, to always try to keep a cool head, because you never know who's watching.
Exactly.
And so, you know, you have to kind of instill those things in them. You know, it's crazy. You think about the things that you see online all the time, at AAU tournaments, school events, players going at the refs, and players and fans getting into it and all kind of stuff. And a lot of it probably stems from exactly what we're talking about now. But, you know, you got to try to prepare the kids for it.
Yeah, and you know,
I'll tell you something about the MAIS. They really have no tolerance policy for those types of things. I mean, you'll get kicked out and you'll get suspended from games, and they're pretty firm about it. I see a big difference in how they handle it in comparison to some of the public schools. You know, I never thought about it till just now, but I see a big difference.
Yeah, and they well, I don't know if I want to even touch that, because in my mind.
Go ahead, say it. I want to hear it.
No,
I mean, it's good.
It's
the people want to know.
I ain't gonna. I'm gonna pat. You know how you're on some of the talk shows, and you know, you're on them rapid fires, and they said pass. I'm gonna pass. Yeah,
if EV passed it must be something. It's something.
Yeah, because you know, see, the Bible says, you know, I always go back to Bible. That's what I say. The Bible says, wisdom is the principal thing, and therefore get wisdom, and all thy getting get understanding. And so, I want to be wise here. Wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. And I don't want to say what. You can't say everything that comes to your mind, because once it's out here, I can delete this video, but somebody gonna do screenshot it. They gonna say, "Man, EV said," and once they go into EV said, it's over. You know, so I ain't gonna touch that one. I'm gonna say more power to the MSAAIS in policing their situation. I'll put it like that. And so there's some things that obviously we can learn from everybody. No different than I'm trying to figure out why we haven't, churches, I'm going back to the spiritual piece, churches haven't found a way. They need to bring in Chick-fil-A, top management of Chick-fil-A, to find out how they can, you know, get you through a line quick. Chick-fil-A need to be teaching that to anywhere there's a long line. Chick-fil-A, that needs to be their health ministry. Because and here's the crazy thing, just switching gears to Chick-fil-A. There's not a this thing is amazing. And I don't know how we got here, but it made me think.
Hey, you lost me when you went there.
I know I did. I lost you, but that's how my mind thinks sometimes. It made me think of Chick-fil-A, how everywhere you go, no matter in the country, they gonna hit you with my pleasure. It seems like they hire the right people at everyone. But you go to some places, they hire the ratchetest people. Can I help you? What? Man, we ain't got no catch up. And so I'm gonna let y'all read between the lines right there.
Yeah, I got you.
Anyway, I see my girl AP is in the base. The young general, the little general. Ariana Patton says, shout out to Coach Faulkner. It's her birthday. So Meridian versus Olive Branch, that's what it's all started down to. They play next week. I'm talking about a barn burner. Who you got, Corey? Who you got?
I'm gonna talk. We talk about that on the show tomorrow.
Okay, all right, you gonna wait. All right, I'll wait too then. I'll wait too. I'll wait too. Yeah. Gavin Shannon, is that
That's Gavin Brinker.
is that Brinker?
Brinker's mom.
Pontotoc, ain't it?
Or Gavin.
Okay.
It's
You
Gavin.
know, we love Brinker, man. Brinker, hey, here's the thing. Now, Tricky, going back to Brinker, I gotta, you know, and you know how it is. Everybody want to be a credit seeker. That's what me and my kids talk about sometimes. Everybody talking about, remember I told y'all? You know, do y'all have that in y'all family too? Remember I told you that a long time ago. You know, parents were good for that. They want to get some credit. So here's the thing. I was the first media person. I got to give you credit first, you know, Tricky, because he played for you. But as I recall, I was the first media person that called Gavin Brinker a can't-miss star when I saw him play for your team. The start field swished, and he went at Devin Reed when he was only 6'4". Now he's a legit 6'6". You do remember that, right, Tricky? When I said that on Twitter. Do you remember that, Tricky? I know Gavin does.
Oh, you broke up on me for a second.
I said, do you remember that when I was one of the first that talked about from the media how good Gavin Brinker was going to be when he was playing?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, you talked to me at the event that you saw him at, and then after the event, you had tweeted about him. So yeah,
that's right. I love him. I mean, he was. I saw special written all over him, and then I got a chance to meet his mom, and I saw his mom was kind of athletic, and. You know, his mom is one of those, you know, we got to talk about parents too. I want to talk about, there's so much to talk about on the show, on shows. We got content for days. Somehow, some, you know, different type of parents that you have to deal with. Involved parents. You got more involved parents than others, especially mothers. And Miss, I think is it Takara Harris? Is that her name?
Yes, Takara. Yes.
Yes, Takara. She's definitely an involved parent. I think she was a basketball player herself. Wasn't she?
It was either basketball or track, but I think she did play bad. Maybe both.
She was an athlete. And so it's kind of great seeing when you have the moms and really both parents, but then sometimes, you know, let's face it, we live in a world where there's a lot of single parenting going on. And so sometimes the moms are out there by themselves. And I don't know if that's the case with Gavin or not. You know better than me. Is it thing? Because Gavin is clearly a mama's boy. I just don't know if I hadn't met his dad.
Yeah, that I'm not sure of either. So I won't speak on that. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I dealt with his mom.
Yeah, he's definitely a mama's boy, and so he loves his mother, and rightfully so. She loves her son, and she's doing a great job. With me with Gavin, but yeah, we love Gavin. Ronaldo Taylor says it's a part of the game. I think coaches should prepare the players for that type of environment. It's hard to police that, but it's okay if it isn't too disrespectful or explicit. Just my opinion. I agree with you, and you know, I definitely agree with that. So anyway, man, I just wanted to come on here and something, man, you know, it's gotten over to midnight. My wife just texted me and said she made it to her mother's in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I'm alone tonight. You know, it's amazing, Tricky. I've been married for 26 years and Court, you know, I've traveled all over the country, and a lot of times I'm not and earlier I wasn't always with my family because I was traveling with basketball or whatever. And staying in hotels or, you know, different places. And my wife was with the kids. You know, I have 5 kids, 4 of them with me and my wife. And every time that my wife and kids leave, I have a sense of loneliness. You know, I'm in this house right now by myself. I got late night with Evie the Geeker because, you know, I was like, man, let me come on and talk about some of these games. I still was kind of pumped up about some games. And things going on, but man, I miss my wife already and my kids because it's something, you know, when you're used to a certain thing. And so it just makes me think, man, I just shout out and prayers up to all the people who have lost loved ones because they're never coming back. You know what I mean? And I know
Mhm.
y'all probably think, man, EV, why'd you have to go there? But I'm just telling you what's on my heart. And I
Yeah.
try to speak out of my spirit sometimes. So I miss my wife. I'm a seer. I can talk to her on the phone, text. I know she's okay.
Mhm.
I'm believing God. I'll see her tomorrow. Lord will. I'll wake up tomorrow. Lord will. We all wake up tomorrow. But you know how it is. Sometimes, like my brother passed about 5, 6 years ago. It's been so long. It seemed like just yesterday. But regardless of what I want to do, he's not coming back. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so we have so much to be thankful for that we're alive right here. And we can never say that enough to God that we thank you for us to even be on the show, to
Mhm.
be just breathing. There's somebody right now like a Bo Clark, coach of Lanier again. Shout out to him, prayers up to him. He's took his team all the way to the end. Now he's dealing with pneumonia, fighting for his life, man, breathing. Pneumonia that's something where you deal with, lung issues and
Mhm.
breathing problems. And I understand. I remember, I've always kind of the last 25 years been a heavy guy. And so about 2 years ago, even sometimes now people say, man, you breathing hard. You can kind of hear me breathing.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, what's going, like I caught myself and I was like, man, I got to get to the doctor. I got to lose this weight. And I got to lose the weight. I've never been sick, but so it kind of scared me. And it was saying, when I got my heart checked and everything, no blockage, 0%, no diabetes, no high blood pressure. I've never been on pills. I've been blessed, man. I just know that I've been blessed.
Mhm.
I've never been sick. And I praise God, I'm not going to be sick because I've spoken it, into my life. That's just, death and life's in the power of the tongue. That's something I believe. And so my plan is not to get sick, but I do know I got to lose weight. But I know that, man, life is but a vapor.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, let's just face it. Think about this. It was a year ago Kobe Bryant died. Kobe is gone. A legend. You know what I mean? Gone
Mhm.
before his time. And so, man, we have to, as we get ready to close here tonight, man, I appreciate you guys coming on and just being with me, hanging out with me, man. I appreciate everybody, on the live stream, even tonight. That just lets me know people ain't, there's some other people out there ain't got nothing to do
Yeah.
either.
Can I say something real quick if you don't mind before
Yeah,
we
go
hop
ahead,
off
dog. Go
that
ahead. Yeah.
we've been talking a lot about the Bible and stuff tonight, and hopefully we, wasn't necessarily meant to get that way. Obviously, basketball is the focus of everything tonight, but it was interesting because I told you I was on my way home back from Jackson, and I'm going through checking some tweets, making some tweets, and I just happened to see that you were going to have this tonight, and I was like, part of me was saying, go home, go to bed. The other part saying, let me go ahead and jump on here. I love to talk some basketball with EV and whoever's, obviously Corey's on here, and I know who else is going to be on here. But as you're talking about that, it made me think about so a couple. It was right after Valentine's Day. I sent something out on my Instagram. Something was going through my head as I'm thinking about you mentioned Kobe Bryant, but obviously it's been a crazy time for this last past year because of COVID. You figure we lost 350, I don't know, 400,000 United States citizens due to COVID over the last past year. So, me personally, I've lost 3 family members. And so it just made me go on Instagram and I put out a challenge and I said, look, life is short. You never know when you're going to lose a family member or friend. Reach out to some people that you are acquainted with that you don't talk to very often. Just remind them that you love them. And I got a lot of responses from that. So I just wanted to say that since we're on here and we got this platform, guys, life is short, man. If you got somebody in your life that's important to you and you haven't talked to them in a while, let them know that you love them. And because you just never know what tomorrow's gonna bring. And
That's good stuff. Corey, your last geek of the night. That's what we call the last
Oh
geek.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, just shout out to all the teams that made it to Jackson. Good luck to y'all. Good luck to teams up here in the north that made it. I'm a north guy, so Olive Branch girls, Pontotoc boys and girls, Inglemark girls and boys. Who else I'm missing? I'm missing some more people. I know. Belmont. Shout out to Tenatobia boys. Just shout out to you all. That's a special moment in y'all, athletic career. Cherish every moment because it's coming down to the last for some of the seniors. So cherish the moments. Shout out to you, EV. You always been a mentor, in this basketball thing, and I appreciate that. So that'll be my last geek. I say the rest for tomorrow.
All right. And I want to say to Gavin Brinker or Gavin's mom, one of the two, I don't know who it is, on it. He said, so you got Lanier over us, EV? And yeah, Gavin, I do, or Gavin's mom, whichever one. I still love you guys. You still
I
one
got
of my
Pontotoc.
favorites. Who got Pontotoc? You got
I got
Pontotoc
Pontotoc
too. Tricky got
I got
Pontotoc
Pontotoc
and
too.
Cordarius got Pontotoc. I got to stay with the 833. Lanier back in the house. They back here. They back in the big house. So I'm gonna have to go with them. I think they're the hottest team right now. They're a team of destiny, and I think they're gonna get to the championship. But I want to do something different, man, that I haven't done, and I just feel led to do today. And I want to close with a prayer. I don't usually do that, but I just want to do that here today. Lord, we just thank you for this time, Lord. And we're so grateful that you have chosen us to breathe life into us, today. And then we moved on into the next day already. So, Lord, we just pray right now for everybody that's listening to this live. I pray healing in their mind. I pray healing in their soul. I pray healing in their body. Lord, I pray whatever they're challenged with, that they will take it to you and get the help that they need. I say to you, say no weapon formed against us or anybody that's listening shall prosper. And we plead the blood of Jesus over everyone that is listening. Satan, we submit ourselves to the Lord Jesus Christ. We resist you and you must flee from us. And so we just thank you, Lord, for what you've done in our life, what you're doing, and what you're yet going to do. I thank you for my man, Tricky, just getting to know him over these last few months. I pray for him and his family. Pray for his children. I pray for the great welfare of his whole family. I pray for Corey and his children, that they will grow up to be strong young women and men of God, and that you will continue to touch their lives and help them trust you like never before and lean not to their own understanding, and you will begin to direct their paths. So we ask these things in your son's name, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, the anointed one. We say amen. Bless you guys. For Tricky Johnson, for Corey Jones, I'm Coach AV, aka EV the Geeker, saying we